Hey, welcome back to the channel and to another video. Now I'm really excited today to reveal our very first T7 camper, which we've just picked up from the workshop, and this camper is available and ready to drive away. So make sure you hang around till the end of this video because I think you're going to like it. So what I'll do now is I'll get the drone in the air, show you the outside of the van, and then I'll jump in the back of the camper, talk through all the interior colours that we've chosen and some of the improvements that we've made to our Explorer package. So make sure you hang around till the end of the video and I will see you outside. Okay, here we are then. So welcome to our very first VW T7 transporter. This is the first one we've done. It's just come out of the workshop a couple of days ago. And if you've been watching our YouTube channel for a while, you probably know this has been in the making for quite some weeks. It has taken a little bit longer than we wanted it to, just because there are a number of changes we've had to make to the furniture dimensions and a few other bits inside the van compared to the T6.1. But we are absolutely over the moon with the result of this van. I think even if you don't like the new T7, I think you're going to find it difficult to not like the look of this van. It looks absolutely great now it's finished. We did put all the wheels and stuff on and all the trim on the van a few weeks ago now before we converted it, just to give you an idea of what it looks like. But now it's got all the privacy glass windows in and the roof and the full conversion. I think you will agree it's a beautiful camper. So the van is a 2025 VW transporter. We call it the T7. Most VW dealerships call it the T7. We have all the armchair critics telling us that that's the wrong name for it, but I think T7 is probably the best name for it really, considering it's the next model from the T6.1. So whatever you want to call it, it's the new transporter. It's based on the Ford chassis, so it's the Ford custom chassis. It's had a number of tweaks done to it by VW, including the interior design, the outside of the van itself, and there are other tweaks that VW have done to this van, and I explained all of that in my T7 video, which I did a few weeks ago. So if you are interested to hear more about the new T7, just go and find that video in our channel. I did that a few weeks ago. So the colour is midnight black. It's had our Explorer package plus Induction, and we have actually made a few changes and improvements to the Explorer package. So this is the first van with those changes, which I'm going to talk through in a minute. So I'll just walk around the van. You have seen it on the drone footage, but I think you'll agree it looks really, really nice now it's been converted. So it's had the full Explorer external trim. It's had the 20-inch Riviera alloys. We have lowered this van by 45mm because the T7 is slightly higher in dimension. So we have lowered it slightly more than we usually do, but it still sits really, really nicely. It's had the matte black sidebars, the colour-coded rear spoiler, and then also the splitter on the front of the van, just underneath the bumper. I don't really think these T7s need any other trim doing to the front end. They're all blacked out now, apart from the badge at the front. You've got no chrome in the bumper, which I really like. I think it's a really big improvement. And again, whether you like the front end of this van or not, I think you've got to agree it looks better to lose all that chrome. It looks a bit more sleek, a bit more modern, and I genuinely do love this van. Even though we've got people in the comments telling me that I'm only saying that because I want to sell T7s. It's just not true. We do really love this van. It drives so well. It's such a nice van to drive. It's got amazing technology on it, which again, I talked through that in my T7 video. So if you want to know more about the tech inside it, go and watch that video. But it's a beautiful van to drive. The automatic gearbox is absolutely lovely. It's really smooth, it's got plenty of power in it, and it's an absolute joy to drive. So it's had a West Stubbs roof as usual, with the scenic canvas, so it's the black canvas and the black roof top. It's a slightly differently configured roof to the T6.1, obviously, to fit in the new shape. But it's exactly the same roof, really good quality, 5 years warranty, and we've never had any problems at all with these roofs. So first of all, I'd love to get your feedback initially on the look of this camper now it's been converted. Let us know what you think to it with all the glass in it and the roof. I'd really love to get your feedback. So what I want to do now, before I jump into the back of the van and talk through the interior, I'm just going to talk about a couple of changes we have made. One of these things has been mentioned to us a few times on YouTube, and we have listened to you, and we have wanted to change this, but so we have now made this change, and we've now removed the hookup point on the side of the van, so there's no longer a hookup point cut out of the side of the van. I never thought it was a huge problem, but people didn't really like it, and to be honest, now we've lost it, I do think it does improve it. So we've now moved the hookup point from the side of the van to underneath the van at the back here. So that little blue point, that's where you're going to put your hookup cable for the campsite. So rather than it being on the side of the van where it usually is, it's down there. And then because the T7 has a slightly different water tank to it, so it's got a 50 litre underslung water tank on it, and that fill-up point for the water tank is just underneath here. So you'll see a little blue nozzle there as well. So that's where you top up your water, and then your hookups at the back. We are going to be doing this on the T6.1 as well, so that hookup point will be at the back underneath the van now, and not on the side of the van. So one other difference to mention on this particular van is that we haven't put flush windows in this because we can't get hold of flush windows for the T7 at the moment. I think in due course there will be flush windows coming out, but the main supplier that we use, which is the main supplier of camper glass, hasn't got the flush window yet. So this one has got a slight indentation to it because that's the opening window on this side, and it's not an opening window on the other side of this van. Just because we can't get the right glass at the moment because it's so new in the cycle with this new vehicle. This van did come with a factory tailgate window, so it's a heated window with a wash wipe, and if I go around this side you can see the glass on this side, so it's not an opening window on this side this time, but in the near future we will be fitting flush opening windows on both sides once we can get the glass. But I really like the shape of this glass at the back where it goes up at the back there, the rear part of the window. I think it looks really nice. I really like the styling of it. And I think with these black wheels and everything on it, it looks absolutely great. So what I'll do now then is I'll jump inside the back of the van and I'll talk through all the colours we've chosen and talk through some of the features of the Explorer package as well. Okay, so I'm going to talk through the colour combinations first, but as you'll see from the initial look of inside the van, you'll see that it looks virtually identical to the T6.1 interior. We haven't had to make many changes. The one change we were going to make to the T7, because it's a slightly wider van, is we were going to put a 120 centimetre rib bed in with 3 seat belts. When we've come to convert this and we've put the furniture in, we've realised that the extra space that you gain inside the actual frame of the van can't be utilised due to the way that the internal frame of the van has been designed. So we've not been able to put the 3-seater rib in here. So this is a 112 rib bed with 2 seat belts. We are exploring some ideas of actually slimming that furniture down at the back so we can put a 120 rib in here, but you would lose some cupboard space, but it would mean that the fridge section of the cupboard sort of juts out slightly. It's not ideal, but we are going to work on it. But for the time being, it will be a 112 rib with 2 seat belts, the same as the T6.1. Okay, so the colour combinations on this van, we chose all of this obviously. So the colour is called Pebble Grey. So it's a really, really nice sort of light grey colour, slight sort of browny beige tinge to it. And because the light's really good today, it does give you a good reflection of the colour. So the furniture is the Pebble Grey. We've put the white acrylic worktop and splashback in there as well. It's got the induction package, so you've got the double induction hobs. They take 1,000 watts of power each, and I'll talk through the electrics in a second. You've got the cold water sink there. And then the colour of this upholstery is the Schwartz. So this is the black upholstery in the Bentley style with the black stitching, which is probably my favourite combination. I really like this Schwartz Bentley with the matching stitching. Looks really, really nice. And you'll be able to see a lot more detailed pictures of this van on the website, on the sales page, and the price of this camper as well, because this van is still available, but we do have people waiting in the wings to buy this, so I don't think it's going to hang around for long at all. You've got a domestic fridge with a freezer compartment in there as usual, and then these are the new seats on the T7. So you've got 2 captain seats. They are a slightly different design to the T6.1. They are comfier. I think they're just a nicer seat in general. Even as the original seat without the upholstery, it's a really nice seat. So you've got the armrest as usual, and on the driver's seat you've got this little section here that pulls out like you do on some cars, which makes it really comfortable. And then we bought this van with the factory single passenger, and then we've put aftermarket swivels on these seats. If you do order a new T7 from the factory, you can specify factory swivels with single seats. You can actually have that as part of the package. That obviously does add money to it. Or we can fit the aftermarket swivels, which are really, really good. They work really well and look really nice. So we're really, really happy with the seats on the new T7. I'd love to get your feedback on them and let us know what you think. So in terms of the electrics, because the van's had induction, we have upgraded the electrics, as we always do, to really accommodate the induction. So it's got a 2,000 watt inverter, a 300 amp lithium battery, which is a really, really big battery on a short wheelbase transporter. So you're able to use the 2 240 volt sockets off-grid. So this is the ultimate off-grid van because you can plug in there using the inverter. If you're not using the induction hobs, then of course you've got a full 2000 watts of power through that inverter. So you can plug many different things into here off-grid, things like e-bikes. You could plug in a low wattage air fryer. You can do the hair dryer, the straighteners and things like that. You haven't got endless amounts of power. Obviously, you have to be mindful of the power you've got, but everything is displayed on that screen. So you control all of your lights and your inverter and your water's all controlled on that 7-inch display. And then the display above that is for the diesel heater. So you've got an auto-term diesel heater with a thermostat. It's a really good quality diesel heater. And then all the warm air comes out of that vent just below the driver's seat there as well. So this is the perfect van if you are wanting to go off grid and not just only use campsites. You have got a 150 watt solar panel on the roof of the van as well. So this is a really, really big solar panel. I'm not sure if you can see it from here. So it runs virtually the whole length of the roof, and that is topping up the leisure battery in addition to driving the van. So the main power comes from actually driving the van, but then you've got your solar just topping it up and helping to keep the power in the battery as well. Now in terms of storage, you've got a really nice size cutlery drawer in here, and we do supply a little cutlery tray to go in there. And then you've got your 2 cupboards underneath, one at the top here and then one at the bottom, and this bottom one does fit the 145 porta potty perfectly in there, so you can store that away if you want a porta potty. And then you've got the locker cupboards at the top. So you've got 2 locker cupboards here, and these are really deep cupboards, decent size for all of your pots and pans and things like that. One in there as well, and then we've also got another one which runs the full width of the van at the back there. And we have actually put an extra reading light in here, so you've got a little movable reading light in there, so when you're lying in bed at night you can turn that light on. And then in terms of the lighting inside here, you've got a strip light above the kitchen area which runs all the way down that kitchen area, and then you've got on the T7 here you've got 2 spotlights, and these are dimmable, so you just press and hold the metal part of those spotlights and they will dim. So it's a really, really nice lighting in here, especially at night time. It's a really cosy little place to be hanging out. And if you go onto the website, look at the pictures, you'll see this bed reclined into its bed position. And again, once you've got our memory foam mattress on this bed, it's going to be really comfortable. And then you've also got a double bed, or sleeps 2 people up here. So it's a 4-berth van. So you've got a nice big space up here for either for the kids, for the grandkids, or even for 2 heavy adults. It would easily take you up here. It's a nice big thick double ply bedboard, carpeted. And again, with our mattress, it's really comfortable, and you can actually store the mattress up here even when the roof's down, so you don't need to store the mattress anywhere, you just keep it up here in the roof. And then of course you've got the scenic canvas, so this canvas zips open, so you don't need to have this open, you can zip this up and turn it into a normal roof, or on a nice day you can unzip all of this and you can stand up fully in this van. I'm 6'2" and I'm stood up fully here in this van. And you'll be able to look out over the view and get some air into the van. So it's really nice having the scenic canvas, and that's just standard on all of our campers now. Okay, so here's the back of the rib bed. So you've got a nice bit of storage space behind the rib bed. You've got about 1.5 foot of space here for storage, and then you can also access underneath the rib bed from the rear and also from the front of the van. So you've got a nice big storage space under the rib bed. And then the cupboards at the back, you've got a top cupboard here, which is the back of the wardrobe, which is a good size to store things. And then you've got the bottom cupboard here, which, because there's no gas on the van, there's no gas locker, that's an empty cupboard. We've actually got the jack in there at the moment, but that's a nice sized cupboard in there as well. And then we've also put an extra 240 volt and a 12 volt socket in the rear of this van. There's a little bit of an extra, and then we've also fitted the cold water shower on this van as well, so you just attach the shower point to that and you can wash your boots and your dogs and things like that. We do now offer hot water, so if you want hot water we can add that as an extra. You'd have hot water on the sink and also a hot shower at the back as well. So again, you can add that to any of the packages on the T6.1 or on the T7, which is really nice. So what I'll do is just pop the camera over the top as I usually do, just so you can see things from the rear here. But I think you will agree, it's a very, very nice looking camper, really nice spec. And like I say, these vans are so nice to drive. This is a DSG, so it's the automatic gearbox, and I'll just pop round and just quickly talk through the driver's area. So on the T7 you get a lot more tech, so I'm not going to go into detail on that because I do cover all of it in the T7 video I did. But as you can see, you've got a big screen here in front of you, digital screen in front of the driver, you've got Apple CarPlay, you've got all the normal stuff, the air conditioning, the adaptive cruise control, you've got front and rear parking sensors, all the tech you have on your car you've got on this van. And on the automatics you don't have a centre console here, so you've got loads of space here between the passenger and the driver, so you can easily get into the back of the van here without getting out. I think it's a big improvement not having the centre console with the gear stick. you actually change gear on the stalk on the steering wheel, which is much better. And I also mentioned in my T7 video that I did that you've got this little footrest here on the left to put your left foot when you're driving, which really does make a difference to the comfort of driving long journeys. On the T6.1 it didn't have that, but they've added it to the T7 and I really do like it. And as I say, this van is so nice to drive, and if you are kind of sat on the fence or you're not even liking this van, then I do recommend driving it before you make judgment on it. If you want to come and test drive this van or test drive one of our T7s, let us know, because it's definitely worth trying it out for yourself rather than judging it before you actually drive it and see it in the flesh. So I'd really love to get your feedback on the interior colours that we've chosen, and I'd love to get your feedback in general on this van. We're really excited to reveal this van. It's been a long time coming and we've got plenty more coming through. We've got about 4 or 5 other T7s booked in for customers, and we are going to be buying more T7s. We are still going to carry on with the T6.1s. We will keep buying them for as long as we can. We've got a few coming through. So if you do want a T6.1, we've got a few available on our website. Just go to the sales page. Just go to the sales page and check them out. All the details are on there. But we are really struggling now to find automatic T6.1s. The stock is really going down now. So in the near future, it will just be T7s that we're doing. But for as long as we can, we will source T6.1s if we can. Okay, so that's it for my walk around of our very first T7 camper. I really hope you like it, and I really would love to get your feedback. So please put any of your comments or any questions you've got for me in the comment section below this video on YouTube. And if you are potentially interested in this camper, it is available, it is ready to drive away, and all the details are on the sales page of our website. So if you go to highlifecampers.co.uk, head to the sales page, you will find this van there. You'll be able to find out all the details of the conversion package and about the base vehicle, plus the price of the camper as well. So make sure you head over there if you are interested. If you're not interested in the T7 and you would prefer a T6.1, we do have several T6.1 vans available, which are scheduled in for conversions over the next few weeks. And you'll find details of all of those vans on the sales page of our website as well. And if you are just getting started with your research around VW campers and you'd like to ask me some questions and just find out a bit more about VW campers, then just head to the contact page on our website. You can actually schedule a time in my calendar for a call. I'll give you a call at the time that you've booked and we can talk through some options and, like I say, cover any questions that you've got. And if you've not already subscribed to our YouTube channel, make sure you do that so you don't miss any of my future information videos or all the walkarounds that I do of our completed campers and the base vehicles coming through. So make sure you subscribe, and if you've got value from this video and you've enjoyed the content, please also consider hitting that like button, and I will see you in the next video. Speak soon.